Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Women's Volleyball Edition. And my guest for this week's show is none other than junior setter on the women's volleyball team, Monica Hruby. Monica, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. Now, over the course of the entire year, people have been mentioning you often in their brownie bites for some of the strangest answers, such as having a pet flamingo and a pet rock, something about pets apparently that fits your bill. Are you just that eccentric of a person?
See, this is like so weird to me because never in my life have I owned a pet flamingo nor a pet rock.
Okay, most people haven't.
So this precept for eccentric is like completely false. And I get weird a lot, but like, I mean, it's just like overused.
But you're not that weird.
But I'm not that weird, and like they're my teammates, and I feel like they should know me at least to that extent, you know?
I think they should, yeah. Now, trust me, they have not said you do have a pet flamingo or you do have a pet rock, but that you would. Okay. You'd be someone who would be inclined to maybe have one.
I could own a pet flamingo.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're pretty.
Kenzie said that one.
Oh, really?
Kenzie said that one. Who said the pet rock?
I think
Jade, I think, said the pet rock.
I mean, I'd get a pet flamingo sometime in my life, or I don't know.
Will you?
Make my kids make pet rocks, but like, I don't know.
Well, if you're going to make your kids make pet rocks, you'd have to do it with them.
Okay, there you go. I guess I'm a
So you will one day have a pet rock. Okay, now you also have an obsession with Birkenstocks, it seems. I don't think I've ever seen you wear anything other than Birks unless you're on the volleyball court.
Sure.
Where did that come from?
Well, everyone back home always wears Birkenstocks, and honestly, it's just like the most practical shoe that's not the closed-toe shoe.
Yeah.
It's like an easy slide. So that's I think from a practical standpoint, that's why I wear them.
See, I hate them, so.
You hate them or you love them, honestly.
Yeah, and I hate them.
I'm sorry.
And a lot of people love them, it seems. It seems like they're making a comeback.
From when?
I don't know. I mean, my mom owns a pair, and up until I got to college, I never knew anyone else who had a pair.
And then you saw Monica Hruby just walking across.
And then Monica Hruby brought them to Menlo, and then they're back. They're back, yeah.
Aww.
Now, you said from back home, you're from Omaha, Nebraska, which isn't exactly a stone's throw away from the Bay. You do have to make quite a drive in that Fiat of yours. What brought you from Scott Catholic High School to here?
Well, I always wanted to get away from like Nebraska, and like Nebraska, I love it. Like, I just wanted to step forward and move on, and I've always loved California, so I thought it was just a good fit, and I wanted to play volleyball.
How'd you get recruited here?
I got a phone call from our old coach Benji, and he was like, "Hey," and he's like a little dweeb, so he's like awesome, you know. And I was like, "What's up?" Like, and we just had a really good conversation. Like, come visit. And yeah, I just had a really good experience. I think that's everyone's story, though.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Once they come here to Menlo College,
it's just like you're hooked. I don't
they're
know
just
why.
hooked, yeah. And then they stay here forever and ever.
There it is.
Like me. I'll be here forever and ever. Let's talk a little. What?
We're happy to have you.
Thank you. You don't have to lie, but thank you. Let's talk a little bit about the team now. The Oaks played 3 road games last week, won all 3, including a pair in conference action. How tough was it to be on the road for essentially the entire week? Because you guys left bright and early on Wednesday.
It was tough, just because like we don't really do like that long of a trip. It's usually like a Thursday, which is like one day, but still you're missing class and everything. I'd say by like Saturday, like before our final game, we were just like, I want to go home, like we're over it. But I mean, we have so much fun together. It's like it flies by, you know.
Yeah, and you still had enough in the tank to take down Arizona Christian on Saturday. Now I want to focus on the San Diego Christian game for a moment. It was the back end of a back-to-back for you guys after you played St. Catherine on Wednesday, and you lost the first 2 sets. What adjustment did you guys make at the intermission to come back and then win the final 3?
Well, volleyball is so mental. Like, you can be like doing all the motions right, but then like if you're not like in a great mental state, then you'll lose like every point, you know, because it'll look good but it won't like play out well, you know, if that makes sense. And so like going to the third set, we were like, okay, like right now is the 5th set, we have to like, because that's like turning on by saying like it's the 5th set, like kind of turns on like this like, okay, now we go, like now we have to like turn it on. And I think that just like did it for us. And I think we focused on like little sets of like little games of 5, which is just like how you practice. So how you play is how you practice. And then we literally just switched our mindset, and that did it, I guess.
And of course, you guys had a lot of experience with a match going in a similar fashion a week before against William Jessup. You guys won the first 2, dropped the last 3, so you wanted to make sure that that happened again, but this time on the other side. So you guys had you guys had the experience, the recent experience, to come back, flip the script in that one. Now, I've heard all year about team chemistry being higher, this team playing together like a team all season long. That's been the story from everyone I've talked to. You're one of the more experienced players on this team. What has it been like to see this team rise from where you were as a freshman to where you guys are at now?
It's like the greatest 180, just because like we were just like kind of like stagnant where we were at like my first couple years here, and like once, honestly, Denise was like our big like changing factor. Like she changed our culture, she changed like with our like consent, like with our doing, and I don't know, I devote a lot of that praise to Denise just because I think she's so fabulous, and like we loved like hanging out, and like we're just like the greatest family. Love it. Now,
Menlo runs a 6-2 offense, which means you split time with the setter possession with Jade Rockwood, who was the guest on last week's show. How are you two able to elevate each other's game?
Sure. So we have to work together a lot just because like every hitter's different. It's like, oh, like she's not hitting well here. And like she's the only other person I could talk to about that besides Denise. But like since we kind of coach like ourselves in a sense because we're like the only people on the court, or like we're like we run the court, I guess, like we have to like have each other's backs and like help each other out. Like if I'm having an off game, she'll like remind me and like support me, and I think that's super important for like the setter roles especially.
See if I'm not crazy here by trying to make this comparison, but are you guys almost like catchers on a baseball team, you and Jade? Because you mentioned that every hitter is different. You have to know where they want the ball, what their tendencies are. And as a catcher, every pitcher is different. You got to know how they feel out there on the mound. Is it a similar kind of situation maybe, or am I just crazy?
That sounds like it is. I don't really know baseball well enough, but that sounds good.
Okay, we'll say yes. Now, Oktoberfest weekend is coming up. It's also senior night and also 2 very big conference games for the Oaks this week. Are those distractions actually going to be distractions this week, or are you guys going to be able to put that behind you and just focus on taking care of business?
I think we're just like so hungry to get these 2 wins that it's like that's our number 1 priority, is having like the 2 wins, and like we'll win for Gomez and Hannah, but like I don't know, I just feel like it all just makes it more special.
Yeah, you're also hungry because they beat you guys on the road.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to light that fire inside you right now.
You keep hitting these sore spots.
So yeah, you know, they beat you earlier, 4 setters. Yeah. So now you guys are at home.
Whole new team. We just we switched second round of conference.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're cool.
All right, let's talk about the final segment of the show now. It's called Brownie Bites. We're going to ask you 3 random off-the-wall questions. You got to give me your best answer. Question number 1: which teammate hates Birkenstocks the most?
If you were on my team, I'd say you.
Okay, but I'm not.
I want to say Nicole, just because Nicole's a little diva, and I just don't think she'd wear this. I think she's more of a rainbows girl.
What are rainbows?
The slides. That's
okay.
The slippers, whatever.
Yes.
Is that?
I think you're now that I'm envisioning.
Is that the brand?
I think so.
I think she's that kind of girl, not Birkenstock girl.
I don't have rainbows either, so I wouldn't know. Okay. Well, you don't need them. You don't need them.
I'm set.
Yeah.
These things are life guarantees.
They basically are. You can have 1 pair and they'll get you the rest of your life. Question number 2: which teammate is the biggest fan? Well, of course you do. But which teammate is the biggest fan of chicken parm?
Honestly, like anything Italian, like I think of Hannah, just because Hannah loves pasta. Like she just loves pasta, and I feel like chicken parmesan's like well paired with.
It is.
Yes.
It's oftentimes on top of pasta.
Exactly, and I think that's the best of both worlds. And I think Hannah's all about it.
All right. Now this question was developed off of the basis for this final question here. Number 3: if Peyton Manning were to arrive at Menlo College, how many times would you make him say OMAHA?
I don't know how to answer this one. because I probably wouldn't recognize him, to be honest, to even have that conversation. And then I still, like, I heard, like, the reference, and, like, people at home thought it was cool. But I was just like, he's saying my city's name. That's tight. And I don't know why. So it'd be just, like, a faulty conversation, and it would go nowhere. So maybe just, what's your favorite number?
Oh, my favorite number is 8.
Maybe I'll say 8 times. Say it. I'll record it and then I'll send it to you.
Okay, sounds good. Well, now you got to get him out here. I don't know how you're going to do that, but you got to try now.
We'll slide into his DMs after this.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll just be like, hey, Peyton.
That escalated very quickly. It did.
That is a very approachable way to have a conversation.
Is it to just randomly ask him in his DMs, hey, can you come to Menlo College?
Yeah, just hang out in Menlo. You never know unless you ask.
This is true. You got to shoot your shot, right?
Yeah, or you can comment on this photo, or maybe go on Facebook and add him on Facebook. Social media, we have to use this for our best ability.
Everyone on the women's volleyball team, we're going to create a joint effort here to get Peyton Manning to come to Menlo just to say Omaha. For Monica.
For you.
And then I can, no, for you.
For me.
And then I can explain to her what that really means, since she obviously doesn't know.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Monica, thank you for joining me on the show.
Of course, thank you so much.
And folks, you can catch the women's volleyball team at home this weekend for the final time during the regular season of the 2017 season. The Oaks are at home as a part of Oktoberfest, and it will be senior night on Saturday. But first, a matchup on Friday the 27th against Hope International. Note the special start time on Friday. It's at 3:30 local time, and then Saturday, not a day match, against Vanguard. That's the 28th, and that one will be the night match at 7 o'clock p.m. Senior night, where the Oaks will honor Bailey Gomez and Hannah Hudson. Well, Monica is the last interviewee on Unrooted Women's Volleyball Edition for the entire year. So she said before the show, save the best for last. I'm not going to say that. But I did not say that. I said you wanted me to say that. I did not say that. I did say it, I think, off the air, but that's not going on this show. So Monica, thank you for wrapping up the show.
Absolutely.
Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in all season long. Don't forget to catch the rest of the episodes of Unrooted that will begin coming up here in a couple of weeks when we take over with men's and women's basketball and the wrestling edition of Unrooted. Those will be coming up here in the next couple of weeks. We'll see you out at Haynes Prim Pavilion this weekend, and until then, take care, everybody.
Thank you.